Welcome back to HPL, and boy, it looks like we have saved the best for last. Greensheep was down 0-2, has come back to win the next 2 games, and he's 1 game away from that reverse sweep.
Yeah, really glad to see him start to go back to those aggressive strategies and really try to punish Kaldi for it. In that last game, he forced Kaldi to kill his minions, even though Kaldi was playing Face Hunter, and that is a massive detriment to that deck. When they can't push for damage, they will absolutely fall out of the game.
Yeah, you see their cards become very inefficient when they have to start trading. That's not what they're built to do. They're built to just go face. He didn't get to do that game. Greensheep tied up the match at 2-2, and guess what? I loved his queue up there. Man, Mech Mage, I love that deck.
Yeah.
Brought me back a little bit.
Yeah, Mech Mage can kind of sometimes be weak to something maybe like Handlock, but we saw in the end there he had Fel Reaver in his deck. And a deck like Handlock, when he's queuing it up against the way that Greensheep has been playing, I wouldn't expect something like Big Game Hunter to be in there. So that minion can go unchecked and get in a ton of damage should it get to that stage in the game. So even throwing his own little twist in there, knowing that Kaldi is very unlikely to use those answers to those kinds of cards.
Well, we're about to find out what cards they're playing with here. Game 5, Greensheep versus Kaldi. Is the reverse sweep going to happen, or is Kaldi going to pull it out here in Game 5?
Get out there on Twitter, use that hashtag HPL, let everyone know who you're rooting for. Greensheep going back to Hunter here. Love the aggression from him. And Kaldi's going back to his bread and butter, that Handlock deck. He loves those control decks. But this has got to be the matchup that Greensheep wants.
Yeah, and Kaldi's mulligan was not the greatest. He picked up a Dr. Boom and a Siphon Soul. These cards are not what you want against really early aggression.
Yeah, did keep the Sun Fury Protector and Dark Bomb here, so some potential to get the ball rolling, maybe control this early board. Love the Sun Fury Protector here. Proactive strategies are something that you need to do versus these aggressive strategies when your decks are a little bit more fragile throughout the stages of this. But that Worgen Infiltrator means that this deck is centered around going to the face.
Yeah, I mean, Sun Fury Protector is just such a great 2-drop, or 1-drop in this instance, against what Hunter's trying to do. It's so good against all of its 2-drops here. Like, none of them match up well against the Sun Fury Protector. Yeah, and you could see this from Greensheep. He couldn't figure out which one to play.
Yeah, Mad Scientist is probably the least bad, I think, out of all these minions. So
and it's, as you said, at least bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's a situation that you'll often find yourself in, is when you don't have any significant plays, try to find the one that is going to give you the best chance to get to a significant portion. So start using the Sun Fury Protector early on. Kind of unhappy, I think, to draw that Ancient Watcher right after he's used the Sun Fury Protector. Going to go ahead and trade his life for some more options here. Again,
we're going to have a big juggle right here. Big important juggle right here. 50% chance to kill the Sun Fury Protector, and he misses.
Yeah, so we're going to have to remember, though, Kaldi played Snake Trap earlier in this match. So that's, I'm sorry, Greensheep played Snake Trap earlier in this match. That's something that Kaldi has to take into account right now. If he just runs this Sun Fury Protector straight into this Knife Juggler, it could spell disaster, but instead it's Explosive Trap.
He would have actually been clear to attack this Knife Juggler. So it's a little bit maybe of a misstep here from Kaldi.
Yeah, instead has to be settle for the Dark Bomb here. And kind of going back to the reason that that aggressive strategies can line up so well versus Handlock is that Handlock's trying to use its own life total as a resource. It's a very central part of it, intentionally damaging yourself to get those extra options, and sometimes even damaging yourself to pick up a bunch of minion kills with stuff like Hellfire. So when you can put them on that back foot and punish them for all the blowback that they take, that's really where you want to be.
You can see a little bit of a push for damage here. Knife Juggler from Greensheep and an attack, setting up some pretty big turns here in the next couple turns. He's going to have a lot of knife juggles happening if it survives.
Yeah, so unable to take care of this Knife Juggler straight away. That's a very important point right now. Have to invest into his board position. Greensheep has the potential for some major damage here, but outside, oh wow, that's an important pickup now. He's going to be able to silence some taunts moving forward.
Summon a random Huffer? Wow, what a pickup for Greensheep here.
Even the juggle goes to face, and he is going non-stop pressure. He says, you know what, have your Molten Giants. I don't really care that much. Gonna go ahead and get the Haunted Creeper on board here. Since he has a Knife Juggler out, I actually really like this play.
And another juggle to the face. Wow, everything is coming up Greensheep here.
He even has 2 Haunted Creepers on board, so if something like Hellfire or something like Shadow Flame happen, he's still got more pressure on the board to add to that. You have to believe in a position like this, Kaldi really wants to play this Sludge Belcher, but it's checked in every way possible right now by Greensheep.
Yeah, this Ironbeak Owl is going to be back-breaking if that happens.
Yeah, I think he's got to go with Shadow Flame here. I mean, but look at, he has to take 4 damage just to try to start clearing the board. That's what such a powerful minion Haunted Creeper can be.
Oh, and what a brick of a draw here from Greensheep. Snake Trap is not exactly what he wanted here. He's still going to get in 6 damage this turn, so not all is for naught, but Snake Trap was probably the worst draw in his deck there.
This is a very dangerous turn for Kaldi now, though, because he has to weigh whether or not he wants to heal himself or play this Sludge Belcher. If he chooses to go with Sludge Belcher, this game's going to be over, and it looks like he wants to go for that. We saw him heal early on, but it wasn't enough to stop the consistent damage, and that's going to do it. Greensheep is going to complete the reverse sweep and win this match 3 games to 2.
80 draws a Wolf Rider just for good measure. Wow, what a comeback. We just saw the reverse sweep from Greensheep. We hadn't seen it yet in HPL, and we finally get to see it. Kaldi was up 2 games to 0 in this match. Greensheep kept it cool. Look at that grin. He is quite happy. Man, I'm so happy for this kid.
Coming back to professional play in such a big way, picking up his first win here in HPL. Very great performance from him. I mean, he really got the better of Kaldi in this match, who really wanted to queue up these control decks. He continued to push the aggression every step of the way, and it paid off in spades.
Oh, yeah. You saw Greensheep come out aggressive in the last 3 games, really pushing the tempo. Got great draws, really finished off Kaldi easily there in a couple of the games. And you know what? He looked like a master juggler in that last game.
Certainly did. Pick up the extra 2 points of damage. Every single one of those points ended up mattering in that game. Of course, except for that last draw, picked up the Wolf Rider, maybe pushed a little bit. If Kaldi had gone with the heal there, that's something that you saw in the previous games. Is he didn't have taunts, but he did have the heals to push himself forward. Now, the problem with healing there is that he's not healing for effectively enough should he get to that point. He needs a Sludge Belcher to stabilize his board position and then heal after that. The fact that he had Iron Beak Owl as the last card in his hand was really the nail in the coffin that game, but I could not blame him for going with the Sludge Belcher. If he just plays the Antique Heal Bot, there's still a chance he's going to get pressured out of the game.
Yeah, I can't blame him for going for Sludge Belcher there. I think it's actually the correct play. Like you said, he needed to actually develop his board a little bit more. Getting the 3-3 into play and gaining 8 life just wasn't going to be enough in that spot. But if he gets a Sludge Belcher there and Greensheep doesn't have anything to punish him, like if his last card isn't exactly Iron Beak Owl, he's actually going to be hopefully okay for him on the next turn. Not in a great spot, but okay.
Greensheep completes the first reverse sweep we've seen here in HPL. Such big stuff for him and a great moment moving forward. When we come back, we're going to have an interview with Greensheep, get his thoughts into how he tackled this match versus Kaldi and exactly why he chose all of these aggressive strategies. Guys, don't go anywhere. When we come back, that interview with Greensheep. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.